Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now several weeks ago, I started seeing this DTF sublimation hack. And I think the first person I saw do it was Patrice at Craftable Things. I've watched several more since then, and basically what this does is it allows those of us with sublimation printers to use DTF film and DTF powder and make some really awesome projects. Now the downside is sublimation ink does not come in white, and so that is an issue you have to deal with. But let me show you. The first thing that I made with this was this mom basketball shirt. And I made this with a DTF powder and DTF film that a company named Dalmatian sent to me. Well, after I made that video and my second video where I showed you how it washed, they sent me some more products. So the next project I did was this Christmas drink shirt, and I made it with their fine powder and their glitter film. So what I want to do in today's video is I want to concentrate on their fine powder, their regular powder, and really see if there's much of a difference. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. Now for me, the biggest challenge was figuring out how to get this to go through the printer. It took me a few tries. Eventually I figured out a way that worked for me. Some people put blue painter's tape on the back of the top. I tried that, it just didn't work for me. So here's what I do. I have it print side up, and I'm going to set it on just a regular piece of printer paper. Then with it lined up really well, and I tend to leave just a tiny bit of the white up top, I put 3 pieces of tape up there. This is just regular Scotch tape. So I put one in the middle and one on each side, but still on the top. Then I just fold over the excess. Now, the first time I tried this, my printer was trying to pull through the paper and the film at different speeds, and it was bunching up. So then I started putting one piece of tape just on each side, and that was the fix I needed. Now the first time I did this, I was only successful pulling it through the rear feed. Then the second time I did it, I tried it in the drawer and it worked perfectly. So today I'm going to try the drawer feed. Now when I do that, because mine feeds through with the print side down, in the drawer, I'm going to have the film down. So here comes the print, and it's coming out on my very first attempt this time, so that's good news. But look at the black smudge where tape that wasn't down smoothly caused an issue. Fortunately though, only one of the 4 designs was ruined. Alright, so I've gone ahead and cut 2 of these apart. I'm going to go ahead and start with just the regular powder. This isn't the fine, this is the regular. I'm going to put quite a bit on at this end. And then I'm just going to take my print, lift it on the end, and then just kind of shake it so that powder goes all the way down the print. And I didn't get enough there, so I'm just going to kind of flip this over on it. There we go. Alright, so that's pretty good. Let's tap that off. That's the regular. Now I need to put that powder back. Now on the front of both, it says white medium powder. Medium just means different types of things. So like in art, you have acrylic as a medium, watercolor is a medium, clay is a medium. Different types of things are different mediums. So what you have to do is you have to look on your tag and make sure you got the right kind. So this one actually does say fine in the fine print. And so that I would always be able to tell, I just wrote the word fine on front. So here's the other print. And for now, I'm not going to worry about those roller marks. I'll show you in a minute what I'll do. Now, on my previous video, I talked about how the fine powder tends to clump. So you have to make sure that you seal it really well. And then I'm going to experiment with breaking down those clumps. And we'll see how well that works. So just like the last one, I'm just shaking this all over my image. And I think that looks good. Then I'm going to tap off the excess. And then so that I know the difference, I'm going to place the fine one off to my right and then the other one to my left. Once I get this powder put back, we're going to cure these. All right, I have my heat press set at 385 and I'm going to do this for about 45 seconds. Because I'm not going to lower the platen, I can't use the timer on this, so I'll just have to do that on my phone. Now here's my images. The one on the right is the fine powder, the one on the left is regular. So I'm going to go ahead and push this under, and then I'll check that after 45 seconds. All right, we're going to check that again. Now it looks like it is not curing at the same rate. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this. I want to go ahead and keep them straight. The fine on the right, regular on the left. And I'm going to look again in 30 more seconds. And what you're looking for looks about like that. So the color's vibrant. The adhesive powder's melted. Now you can see there's some powder that's not quite melted, and I think that'll be fine. I think that's going to melt on the shirt. Now you can see those roller marks. We're going to deal with those before we press this. Now let me show you this print. This was the fine powder, and it looks good. You can tell it's not quite all the way melted right in here, but you see those roller marks. So if you don't scrape those off, those are going to show up on your shirt. And so I want to get that adhesive off. Now because I'm putting this on cotton, as long as I have the adhesive off, even if you see a little bit of the ink left, that shouldn't transfer. Because sublimation ink does not transfer into cotton. Then I have some really small ones in between. So I'll kind of scratch those off. Now it looks like I have a couple down here on this end. All right, that looks better. The other thing is, just like sublimation, you know how you cut close to it so that if there's any stray sublimation ink on your paper, you don't wind up with that on your shirt? I'm going to do the same thing. And that actually cut off most of the stray ink that I had on the side. But I did want to show you that you need to scrape it off if you have adhesive with stray ink. All right, so this is the fine. I'm going to deal with them one by one, just so I don't confuse them. Now this is a tiny little Vivor heat press. It's kind of a little craft press, and it's not quite up to temperature yet. As the instructions tell you, I'm going to press this at 325 for 10 seconds. But before I press it, just like anything else, I want to go ahead and pre-press my material to get any moisture out. So even though it's not up to temperature, I'm going to go ahead and put this down for about 10 to 15 seconds. All right, that's good. I'm going to let this cool down just a little bit so that when I place this, if I don't have it in the exact right spot, this shirt isn't super hot, or what used to be a shirt is not super hot. Okay, remember this is the fine powder, and I'll just place it there. If you want to, you can put a little bit of heat tape on this. I'm not going to. As soon as that adhesive starts bonding to the shirt, it's not going to move at all. And since this is just a little sample I'm trying out, I'm not too concerned about it. If I were doing this on a shirt, then I might put a piece or two of tape on. All right, so my press is up to 325. And again, like the instructions say, I'm going to press this for 10 seconds. And it says to use firm pressure. Then the other thing the instruction says is wait 10 seconds and then peel this off. So far it looks good. All right, let's see what we get. Ooh, that came off easily. That came off really nicely. Wow. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to put parchment paper over it and press it again for about 10 more seconds. It's not going to affect the look of it. Doesn't that look good? Right now I can feel it. It's smooth. I can barely feel that it's on there. But I think this repress really mashes it into the fabric and you feel it even less. So we're going to do that. Now, on a previous video, I accidentally used butcher paper. I thought it might be tragic. It wasn't terrible, but you don't want to use butcher paper on this. You don't want to use butcher paper, you don't want to use copy paper, and you don't want to use wax paper. You want to use parchment paper. So I'm going to repress this for 10 seconds, and then I'll see if I feel any difference. And I definitely feel a difference. Now it just feels like the same texture of the shirt. It's not like smooth and slippery anymore. It just feels like the shirt. So I would definitely repress. Now again, this was the fine powder, and you saw how easily that came off. So I like that. Now let's go ahead and try the regular. And I don't think I pre-pressed this side yet to remove moisture. Let me do that. All right, I'm going to go with that. So again, we're going to press this for 10 seconds. Then we'll wait 10 seconds to peel the backing or to peel the film off. And then I'll do another repress with that parchment paper. All right, so we're going to wait 10 seconds. Ooh, that's hot. Again, this looks really nice. It looks really, really nice. Oh, I do see a mark there I missed scraping off. Let's go ahead and pull this off. That came off easily too. Okay, again, that feels smooth. I'm going to repress it. And I'm just repressing it for 10 seconds. And again, now that feels better. I can see my little wheel mark right there. I should have been more careful. That's the only one I see. Scraping off that adhesive powder, I don't see any of the others here. So on this image, the fine powder and then the regular powder perform the same, they look the same, they feel the same. Let's try another image. So I printed more designs, and this set was powdered with the regular powder, and it's already been cured. I'll trim and scrape them, preheat the fabric, and then I'm going to press these on white fabric. All right, it's been about 10 seconds. That came right off too. Okay, so this is the normal powder. It's coming right off. I'm not letting it cool all the way down. The instructions said peel it after 10 seconds, and that's what I did. I can barely feel it on there, but it has a really smooth feel. So just like last time, I'm going to repress this with the Teflon sheet. Or, I'm sorry, parchment sheet. Not Teflon. Don't use Teflon. That feels better. It didn't feel bad before, but this now, it just feels like it's fabric. And I don't see those wheel marks. They should have been there if they were going to show up and down here. And then here's this image. Super cute Christmas drinks. Now let me compare that to one I did with their glitter paper. Now, of course, this one is huge, but this one, I did it on their glitter paper. And when you're not under the bright light, I can see glitter. It's a very fine glitter, but here's the deal. This is meant for actual DTF ink. And so I think this would look gorgeous and much more rich on DTF ink. If you have a DTF printer, I would definitely try this glitter paper out. I don't. I'm just doing the hack. And I actually think if you're doing the sublimation hack, the glitter kind of reflects and detracts from the colors. So again, if you have a DTF printer, I would definitely give the glitter paper a try or the glitter film a try. For me, since I'm using the sublimation hack, I'm going to stick with the regular paper or the regular film. All right, those are cute. Remember, that is the regular powder, not the fine powder. So let me go ahead and pre-press the other half. Now it's time to try the fine DTF powder on these same two designs and white fabric. So in addition to preheating my fabric, I'm trimming the prints and scraping off the adhesive powder from the stray ink caused by the rollers. And let's pull this off. Again, that film pulls off super easily. There's my Boss Lady print. And there's my Christmas drink print. We'll do that one last pre-press, and then we're done. So this was the fine powder, this was not. In the end, both of these powders work beautifully. I wouldn't have a problem using either one. So if you're interested in trying this out with your sublimation printer as a hack, I'm going to put the links to the film and both powders in the video description. To me, this product has opened up a whole new world in what I can do. So thanks again for joining me, and until my next video, bye-bye.